Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris, and today we're going to be placing the Tudor corner into the Lego city. So let's get started. So actually, before we place the Tudor corner and call it a day here, we actually have some more work to do. As you guys can see, all of the buildings here are pretty much removed from the city, and they have been scattered throughout the table here and also on my build table. If you watched yesterday's video, then you will see the Tudor Corner review and also the comparison of every single modular building that I have, including the Sanctum Sanctorum, which is the only Marvel one that I currently have, and also some custom ones as well. So definitely check that out if you have not seen that already. But that is actually why I'm redoing the city here. So I think before we get started, a little bit of a game plan here is to put back the buildings that I know I want to stay the same. I don't want to move them. Like, I want to keep the Palace Cinema right here. So I'm going to put that back. And I think this whole row of buildings here is going to stay the same as well. So like, it'll be the Palace Cinema, the Detective's Office, Assembly Square, the Pet Shop, and then the bank. And then we can work our way around and then see what we want to keep and see what we don't. And we'll take it from there. All right, so I'm starting with the Palace Cinema, the Detective's Office, and that whole street there because I really like it. It's been that way since the start of the channel, and I just think that they look really good next to each other. The Detective's Office is one of the buildings that my only problem with it is that it looks too good next to every other building, so I have to kind of pick and choose what I want it to go next to, and I like looking at it a lot, so I want it to be pretty front and center. So having it in this row along with the rest of them like this just made sense to me. And I'm keeping the Parisian restaurant in the back, and I'm also putting the museum back as well. The museum is subject to change, but that probably won't happen until I get the botanical gardens, which will hopefully be in the next couple of months. But as of right now, this is kind of what we're working with. All right, so this is what we got so far. This is all open here. The museum is back in its spot. The 5 buildings here are in their spot, as well as the Parisian restaurant. And I had the jazz club in between the bank and the sanctum just to see if I liked it there. I wasn't a huge fan, so I took that out. And then the sanctum is probably going to stay there, I think. I like having that alleyway right there next to the access hole and then the hardware store like that. I think that looks good. And then so now that is about half of the buildings. And then so the other half is the jazz club, the boutique hotel, the bookshop, my custom pizza shop and townhouse, the Lego store, and then the Tudor Corner, police station, and the Holiday Main Street set. And at the end of yesterday's video, I did actually talk about potentially putting the Tudor Corner here and then a building here and a building there. But I don't know how that would look next to the Ferris wheel. Because obviously those buildings and the Ferris wheel would all be raised up to the same height as the city. So I don't know, I don't know how that would look, to be totally honest with you, having the Ferris wheel be so close to the other buildings like that. But I'm going to try it anyways, just to roughly put the buildings here, see if I like it. And then if not, I'm going to try and find a spot in the city over here. And then if that doesn't work, then the Ferris wheel might just get temporarily removed, I think, and then maybe we could put buildings along this back section here, and I guess we'll just take it from there. So I'm not going to get too far ahead of myself. I'm just going to place the buildings here, see how they look, and I'll show you guys what I come up with. All right, so this is the combination that I had come up with by the end of yesterday's video, which is the police station on the left, the Tudor Corner, and then on the right side of the Tudor Corner is let me see if I can get you guys a good angle of this, is the Holiday Main Street set here. I think this looks pretty good. Obviously, this is the back, but even still, I don't think the back looks too terribly bad. And then let me come around this way and kind of show you guys that angle as well. I'm really not a fan of having these buildings so close to the Ferris wheel, but I think if I rotate the Ferris wheel, then maybe it could work. I'll try it. I'll see what it looks like, but I'll also try the Ferris wheel on this end, I think, and then maybe the buildings over there. I'll try that as well, but it's not looking too good, to be honest with you. So let me rotate the Ferris wheel first, and I'll show you guys how that looks. Okay, so actually with the Ferris wheel rotated, I think the buildings have more breathing room, and I think that looks better. I can't push the base plate of the Ferris wheel all the way to the edge here, just because of these cars here, and I need to be able to walk on this side. So I'm going to have to put a 5-inch or 16 stud gap right there. But I think that looks pretty good, actually. And then if you come to the front of the city, that doesn't look that great when you're looking at the side of the Ferris wheel like that. But I guess it's not the end of the world, and it could be dealt with. You know, I could live with that. The buildings themselves though look pretty good, and I quite like that. And then we could add a road or like a walking path in between the buildings and the Ferris wheel here. All right, so I've been pretty busy moving a bunch of buildings around, but before I show you where I think I'm going to end up placing all of them, I want to just let you guys know that I did put the bookshop back here where it originally was, as is the jazz club now. So this entire street remains the same, and then this base plate back here is still open. I'm still considering that custom building across this corner here, so definitely stay tuned for that. It's very much in the planning stages at this point in time. There's not a whole lot going on with it just yet, but that is something to look forward to. And I think that this area of the city looks really good. And so I'm kind of slowly making my way around the city so I don't knock anything over. But this looks the same. And this also looks the same. So you're probably wondering where I put those buildings. And you might be thinking that it's right here next to the museum. But no, actually, there are no buildings here. And I did not put the park back in front of the museum, but these buildings are all gone. I did not put them back here. Originally, it was the police station and then my custom half base plate building and the boutique hotel. That half base plate building is just to cover the edge or the back side of the boutique hotel because I really don't think that it looks that good. And so actually, this is what the city looks like. So now you're probably wondering, where the heck did these buildings go? Well, if you pan over here, this is what I came up with. I'm actually really, really happy with this. So unfortunately, there's no Ferris wheel right here, but let me get you guys a little bit of a lower angle here. Now, obviously, these buildings would get raised up to the same height as the city, so the road can just come straight across, and then everything will be at the same height as the rest of the city here, and then this stuff down here would be lowered. But I have an idea for this, and I'll talk about that in just a second. But the Tudor Corner is here with the police station on the left and the Holiday Main Street modification on the right. And then I snuck the Lego store in there as well because I originally didn't have that there and I had this pushed over the 16 studs, and I didn't know what to do with this right here because then I wanted a 16 stud road or walkway in the middle, and then I had the boutique hotel and then 16 studs on the edge here. And I couldn't figure out what to do with that because the boutique hotel is such an odd shape, and this right here doesn't look good next to many buildings, so at least personally. So I didn't know what to do, and so I put the Lego store in and I shifted everything down, and this looks a lot better. I am much more happier with this. This looks great. And then if you come over this way, you'll see that the half base plate set or mock is over here, and it still has the alleyway, so you can still access the dumpster in the back. And then that leaves me a half base plate here to make a custom building or maybe like a parking lot or something really basic to throw in here and then to just kind of fill the space. And then I have the police station here. I know that the base plate is hanging off the edge ever so slightly. That is intentional because the city is actually doing the exact same thing. And so in order to have the tables line up and to have the base plates line up, that's what I have to do, because the table length is actually about 109 inches. And then there's like a decimal point in there too. I don't remember what it exactly is, but it's like 109.3 inches or something like that. And the base plates that I have on the table are 110. So it's either I have 105 inches and this massive 4-inch gap on the side, or I just have it overhang slightly and I get the extra 5 inches of space to do whatever. So that's what I went with, and I don't mind it. It doesn't really make that much of a difference, as you can see. So the police station and whatever goes here is going to have to do the same thing, but it's not the end of the world. My only concern with this configuration is this right here. This is going to be pretty much dead space, and so I don't love that. I don't know what to do about that, to be honest with you. So if you guys have any ideas what I should do with this, or if maybe I should have a train track coming through and then move the police station, make this a half base plate building, so then the train track could just come straight through, and then I put a train crossing here and stuff like that. If that's a good idea, drop a comment down below for me. I would be curious to hear what you guys think of that, if that's feasible, because I could change the layout of this. I'm actually planning on changing some of the switches and stuff over here anyways, so that is something to be on the lookout for. But if I don't do that, I have no idea what's going to go here. This is 32 studs by 48, so that is the dimension. So if you guys have any ideas, please drop a comment down below. I would love to hear what you guys think of that, but this is what I'm working with right now. So I actually think this looks really, really good. So I know this wasn't my original plan to put buildings on this expansion table here and to also have so many of them over here, but I actually think that this looks really good and I'm very happy with how this is looking. The reason I put the boutique hotel over here is actually because I think it's more of like a coastal building, at least to me personally. And so having it in front of the water and whatever is going to go here, I think just made sense. It looks a lot nicer over here than it would next to a mountain or something like that, I think. So I think this area is turning out really nicely. And if you look down this street here, this looks really, really good. And I'm quite happy with this. And so as for the Ferris wheel, that was right here at the start of the video. So I actually took that out for that last clip because I wanted to show you guys just the buildings. But my idea for the Ferris wheel is to actually put it right here. Now, I know it is pretty much smack in the middle of this table here, and so that kind of eats at the skyline, I guess, around it. But my tentative plan was to have the road come through here to the edge of the table and then either have a road or a walking path that way. And then I tried the Ferris wheel starting here, but it just didn't look right to me. It felt too cramped, so I moved it back 16 studs, and then I could put like a parking lot or something here, like a little green space maybe. And then all of this would also be raised, the Ferris wheel and whatever's in front of it would also be raised up with that same height of the city, just so everything's at the same level. And then all this down here would be like pier and water and a beach over here maybe and something like that. So I think that works a lot better. And actually this is going to end up making it a lot less water, because if you guys saw the video where I started this, you'll know that this is an insane amount of pieces here. This is 60. I actually counted. There's like 60 or 62 of these 1x2 translucent light blue tiles here. That's 62, and that is just a fraction of the entire base plate. And then there's this base plate and then all the other ones that I was talking about in that video. So I don't think I'm doing that anymore. I mean, I want to have water. I just don't think I'm going to have that much water. So we're going to cut that down a little bit and make space for some other stuff here as well. And then there will be a pier here, which I don't think I even talked about in that video actually, but I want to have the top half of both of these base plates be like a pier or like a nice area for water and for boats and stuff like that. And I want it to kind of come around here, turn into a beach a little bit, and then have like a nice staircase on both ends. And then the road and all that stuff obviously will be over here. So if I'm going to go with this layout, I do have a lot more woodworking to do. So definitely stay tuned for that. If you found the expansion table video helpful or entertaining, stay tuned for that, because I'm going to have to end up making some more wood structures here for this, because doing this all out of Lego would be kind of insane. But I think this looks good. And if you take a step back here with the Ferris wheel right there, it does block the buildings a little bit, but I don't think it's the end of the world. If you guys disagree, let me know with a comment down below what you would do with the Ferris wheel. I'd be really curious to hear what you guys think, because I want it in the city and it looks nice, but it's really hard to place in some cases. And so, yeah, this is also, for clarification, this is my only amusement park ride that I have. I don't have the original coaster. I don't have the loop coaster. I don't have the fairground mixer or the carousel or anything like that. So it's just this. So let me know what you guys think with a comment down below about that. But that is pretty much it. I know this video was a lot more than just placing the Tudor corner in the city, but I'm very happy with how this turned out, and we have a lot more space to work on now. I do still need to put the park back and also all of the sidewalk extensions on each of these base plates and road plates here, but I'm not worried about that at all. I am also probably going to end up getting the botanical gardens within the next couple months and hopefully putting that there. I'm also going to try it here and then a couple other locations as well, but that is something to look forward to. So that's that space covered. And then the museum is going to stay the same. All these buildings right here are going to be the same. And then that leaves those two entire strips of base plates there on each side of the road for custom buildings, which is great. And also for the official modulars in the years to come. So I have a lot of space to grow into, which is great to see. And so that's pretty much it for me. So if you guys like this video, make sure to like the video and subscribe, as well as click the bell notifications so you don't miss any future uploads. If you guys have any feedback for me on the placement of the Tudor corner, on the placement of the Ferris wheel, and literally anything else in the city, now that I have everything ripped up, pretty much anything is fair game. So Drop a comment down below with what you want to see changed, if anything. And seriously, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.